Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over the features of this boombox. Right here we have our tuning knob that will change the channel of the radio. This will select between FM mono, an AM signal, or FM stereo. Switch to FM mono if you can't fully get an FM stereo signal from a radio station, but for the most part you want to leave it into FM stereo for FM signals. AM signals, of course, you switch to AM and that will pick up like those sort of like other radio stations with like talk radio and more obscure musics. Right here we have the function switch. Right now the radio is set to off, which is also dubbing mode, which dubbing is obviously taping from one tape to another. There's basic tape mode, which will let you do playback of a tape and will also let you record from the tape's stereo microphones, which you can see right here. Oh, there we are. Then there's radio mode, and that obviously lets you access the radio features on here. So I'm going to switch this back to off. Right here there is a playback only cassette player, which is meant for only playback and is also used as the playback for the dubbing. So if you want to dub a tape to another tape, this is where you would want to put the tape you want to dub. Right here is the playback and record one, which will let you record from the radio, record from the microphones, and obviously record from the tape you're trying to dub. This is where you're going to put the tape that you want to dub on, or if you just want to use it as a playback one as well, you can. So you can have two tapes in here to play back to back. There's a headphone jack, which is a 3.5mm headphone jack. You can plug in whatever modern headphones you want in there. Now I'm going to flip it around because there's one more feature on the back of here. Well, actually a couple. On the back of here is the little places where the wires for the speakers are. You can take them out of there and widen and like take these little speakers off and sort of like move them around in case you want to use it in home and get a wider stereo field. There's some stereo microphone ports on the back, which you can plug in your own microphones and record from those, but you could also use 3.5mm to RCA jacks and record directly from an audio source. And this is the battery compartment. Inside of here is also the storage for the plug. And finally, this thing right here, which what does that say again? AM beat out. So what this is specifically for recording from AM. If you hear like a super high pitched whine when you're trying to record from an AM signal, you just switch this until you can't hear it anymore. So yeah. Oops, I forgot to cover some features. Your volume knob is right here, which controls the volume, obviously. Balance is right here, which controls left and right balance. And your tone right here will control how much bass or treble is being outputted from the speakers. So yeah, I forgot to cover that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get a radio signal. So this is very simple. Just switch it to, let me see how loud I got this. Alright, that should be good. Switch to radio, and it should get absolutely nothing. So I have an FM right now, and to let you know, FM signals is based on this FM antenna right here. I cannot stress enough that this is an FM antenna. So you can see so now that I have it fully propped up, I can kind of move it around, and as you can see, the signal is getting better and worse on this particular radio station. Obviously, I'm going to tune it now. And there we are. And I can just sort of like tune it. You can tell you're getting FM stereo when this little light comes on. Now if I were to switch this to FM mono, we're still getting the same radio station, but this light is turned off, and now all sound is coming out of both speakers. It sounds a lot less dynamic and a lot more flat, and you would only want to use FM mono if you can't fully get in an FM stereo signal, which is pretty hard to do these days, but it sometimes happens if you are getting very poor reception of a radio station. So now I'm going to switch it into AM. And AM is a little different in the fact that this right here, it does not use. AM radio is based off the physical radio itself and what direction it's pointed in. So right now it's pointed towards the window, which is, I think this is south actually, and I have it touching this metal counter, which will boost reception greatly. So I'll tune the radio now. You're gonna have to turn it up a little bit.
Same one who
oh, got something.
In his days as a training as a disciple, but a man who.
Now, AM radio is fully mono. There was a time where AM stereo existed, but unfortunately it did not catch on because everyone had already transitioned over to FM. Now, usually up here I can get pretty good signals, so see if I can get 1040 AM in. Oh, got something nice there. Not sure what this is. Sounds like some country station.
To go along with 2 turnovers in the final frame, with the New York missing several
you can see
players,
there,
LeBron James
trying to get to 1040, which this one down here will be what AM station, that little thing right there corresponds to, and obviously the one above it is for FM. So I think that might be 1040. Yeah, I think that's 1040. So AM is also kind of special that depending on the weather outside and the time of day, you can get completely different radio stations. You can get more radio stations. You can get other radio stations in with better reception. I've gotten Cuban radio stations through the AM radio on here, as well as I think one Mandarin speaking radio station from I have no idea where. I picked up one from Atlanta as well, despite being all the way over here in Tennessee, so that was pretty neat. So AM is definitely something that would probably be fun to play around with if you just want to geek about and see what you can pick up. It's also good as like an alternative to get some FM radio stations if you just simply cannot receive the FM signal. Again, 1040 AM is how I actually can retrieve 99 FM, because for whatever reason I can't get 99 FM out here. So I will now put this into off. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to clean the heads on these tape decks, which is something that you want to do every about 10 or so tapes that you play on it, or once a month, whichever works better for you. Let me just unplug the radio real quick, just so we don't zap ourselves. So I'll start with this one since this is the main one that I use. Now it shouldn't be too dirty, because again I tend to obsess over the cleanliness of my heads and pinch rollers. So you want some Q-tips, isopropyl alcohol, preferably 91%. 70% also works well, but it doesn't dry as fast. 91% is preferred. And Windex, specifically for the cap stand and pinch roller. So I'm gonna dunk this in here, nice and soaked. So I'm going to actually just rub it against the rim, just so it's not like too soaked. Now right there, that thing in the middle, that silver thing, is the playhead. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to just gently rub the Q-tip against the head. I'm sort of viewing this with a phone, so it's like super delayed. So sorry if my movements look a little janky. It just feels so. Yeah, so you want to be careful not to get it this thing hooked onto anything, because it may leave cotton residue behind, so be very careful. I would recommend using the pointed Q-tips, but I'm using a bamboo Q-tip because that's just what I have. Right here is your record head. I'm sorry, not record head, your erase head, which also needs to be cleaned. So basically do the same thing. There we go. Viewing through the camera to do this is rather difficult. I'm actually just going to push it off to one side like that. There we go. That's much better. Now I can totally see what I'm doing. So just make that nice and clean. Okay. So now on to that right there. That's a little metal piece on top is your cap stand, and that rubber piece on the bottom is your pinch roller. So for this, you want to use the Windex. Don't use this. It'll eat away at the pinch roller. You want to use Windex, so I'm gonna just spray that real quick. Not too much. There we go. Alright, it's ready now. So cap stand's pretty easy. Just want to rub against that cap stand. Get it at as many angles as you can. Get it nice and can't see right there. There we are. Just get it nice and wipe it down. And as you can see, that cap stand was rather, maybe you can't see, there we are. Really nasty cap stand. This is what happens when you play really cheapo grade tapes inside your boombox, in which those Gemini tapes are very not so great. And they leave a lot of residue. And there's the pinch roller, so with the pinch roller, you just kind of want to roll it with the Q-tip, And you want to keep doing that until it's nice and clean. So I'm going to check real quick. And it's just a little bit longer. Now you could also use a head cleaning tape, but it's a little bit more pricey and may not get your heads as clean as they could be. Doing it by hand like this will ensure that you have perfectly clean heads, a clean capstand, and a clean pinch roller. So while I'm doing this, I will say clean heads will ensure maximum sound quality and the best recordings, and a clean capstand and pinch roller will keep the boombox from eating tapes. So yeah, that's good. And I've mostly just been using this one. I have not been using this one, so this one is pretty much still perfectly clean and ready to go. But you want to do that on each one of these for every 10 tapes that you play, or for after at least 1 month of use or dormancy. So yep. Okay, so now that our heads are nice and clean, it's now time to show you how the tape features work. So we're going to use this playback only one for this example, and this is just to show you the basic functions of how to play a tape. So I got my tape right here. If you look down here, the tape is not exposed, so it is completely rewound. You just press this. This stop right here is also an eject button, so I'm just gonna hit that. Door opens, and you just slide the tape in, close it. So when the tape is in there, obviously just hit play to play the tape. And now the tape is playing. And obviously if I want to stop it, just hit the stop button. Now that it's stopped, I do want to explain that what you don't want to do is to press play and then you think to yourself, oh, I need to fast forward this, and then you just hit fast forward. You don't want to do that. If you need to do something while the tape is playing, your best bet is to press the stop button first and then hit fast forward or rewind, which, as you can tell, if I hit fast forward, it advances the tape, and if I hit rewind, it rewinds the tape. The pause button that's right here is best only used for recording, or if you just want to stop the tape momentarily while you're playing it, like, you know, if you have to blab to somewhere and do something else, that's what the pause button is for. So yeah, if I hit play, it won't do anything, but if I hit that pause button again, it's back to playing. So that's paused. Hit stop now. So this thing only has auto stop in one direction, and that is forwards while playing. Fast forward and rewind do not have auto stop, and this is very important to mention, because if you were to rewind it, it's just going to sit there like that. Hit stop immediately. If you just let it sort of like sit there tugging on the tape, it could break your tape, or even worse, stretch out the belts inside the tape player, which you definitely don't want to happen, because that will ruin the playback. And the last thing you want is ruined tape playback. It will sound horrible. So when fast forward or rewinding, just hover over the player until you see it stop, and when it stops, immediately hit that stop button. So just thought I'd mention that. Now let's move on to recording. So I have a blank tape right here, Max LUR, excellent tape. You should have a few of these in there for your own recording. I'm going to throw it in here, and I'm going to switch to, let me just turn this down a little bit. I'll switch into the radio function. Let's start with an FM signal.
There are times in our lives when we don't even know what to say.
So
And then have anything worse.
let me turn this down. To start recording, don't just hit record immediately. You want to hit pause. Wait about 10 seconds for the head to kind of... Wait. No, I got that backwards, sorry. Hit pause and then hit record. And now you want to wait about 10 or so seconds. So that will give you time to also find a radio station while it warms up. Let me see if I can get a good one in here. Alright, got this radio station here. Gonna turn this down a little bit. So when you're ready to record, you want to lift off that pause button. Look down here, and now it's recording. So I'm just gonna let this kind of do its thing for a moment. What? Okay, I think that's enough. So we're gonna hit this pause button now, not the stop button, and that will pause the recording. You don't want to hit stop, because if you do that, then that will cause the recording head to stop doing its thing, and then when you record the next time, it will have to warm up again. And if you record while it's warming up, it will have this kind of like really terrible fade in, which is something we don't want. So if you need to pause a recording, if you need to stop recording, hit that pause button first. So I'll now switch it to a different radio station. Okay, that sounds good. Hit that pause button, and now it's recording again. Alright. Gonna hit pause again. Let's just switch over to AM. Gonna turn up that volume. Find a good radio station.
When we talk about the coaching hires, before I get out of here, I just...
Okay, you hear that noise? That high-pitched noise is interference between the recorder and the AM signal. So remember what I said about this AM beat switch? Watch this. Now it's gone. So now we can record this without picking up that nasty high-pitched signal. And obviously you would want to switch it back and forth depending on what radio station you're tuned into. So we'll hit pause again, and I'm going to switch it over to tape function. So now that it's on tape, if we were to record from here, we would be recording from these microphones. So I'm going to unpause, get right here in the middle like this, and we should be hearing my voice. Speak into this microphone, and this should come out of this speaker, and then speak into the microphone, and it should come out of this speaker. So I'm gonna hit pause one more time, and we're gonna go to dubbing. So on dubbing, we want to hit this right here with the pause on, this right here with the record feature like this. We're going to hit play on our playhead. On the one, yeah. We're going to hit play on our playback only right here. And then we're going to unpause right here. And now we'll start dubbing from this tape to this tape, and we'll have a nice little copy. This right here is for recording. This will show you where you are on the tape. Keep note of that in case you need to record over something that maybe you didn't do correctly. So I'm going to hit pause here, stop here, and I'm actually going to hit stop entirely, unclick that pause button. And now let's see what we've done. Also, if you need to reset the tape counter, just press this button right here. There we go. Oh, there we are. Now let's see what we got.
I just hit a link with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pause the hope, feel I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals, we been trapping like the 80s. She's got the soul, got the cash out. Told on white, but no. Say slash. I won't never sell my soul, and I can take that. And I really wanna know.
Hear how nice and smooth that was? That was because we were using the pause button right here, as opposed to using that right there.
We have Bible study at 6:30. Well, ready the Word of God with us. Prayer. Fridays at dinner time at 12 o'clock. Class brother and sister Middleton and brother and sister Jameson.
Unpause. Get right here in the middle like this. And you should be hearing my voice. Speak into this microphone, and this should come out of this speaker. And then speak into the microphone, and it should come out of this speaker. So, we hit pause button. This might take a moment, because we're recording all that silence. There we are. Alright, so that's the basics of recording using just the radio itself. Let me just reset that tape counter. There we are. And yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use the FM transmitter to both play back and record stuff to cassette from this right here, or I'm sorry, to this right here. Obviously you want to have your AAA batteries put into this, so let me just do that. Oh, this may take a minute. Hands are a bit finicky. Oh, there we go. There we go. Usually I do this with 2 hands, not 1, but I got to hold the phone cam. There we go. Now it has a 3.5mm headphone jack, so if your phone doesn't have a headphone jack, you'll need to use like a little charger to headphone jack. So we have this ready now. Now, if you see on here, I think I'm holding it upside down, hold on. Oh. If you see on here, those numbers on there correspond to the radio station that you're going to override with the signal. So I'm going to say, let's say, switch it to, let's say 85.5. There we go. Okay. And when you turn it on, that light should come on. So let's flick on the radio to FM. Oh, whoops. You want to make sure it's set to FM stereo, not normal FM, but FM stereo.
How are you doing today? Who am I talking with? Hey, this is Donald. I work.
Let me
you worked there with us a little while.
tune it over. Let's get it over here.
This is
And we'll know we have it right when we can't hear anything at all. And we get this FM stereo right here. Now, oh, this little tuning knob right here will help you fine tune the signal to the amplifier. Oh, you see how important it is to do that? Here. Yeah, you see I'm not really that experienced with this thing. Let me just move it a little bit closer. There we go. Perfect. We can't hear anything now. So, now that it's perfectly silent, and that light is on, we can now go to our source and listen to it.
Yeah. First, let me hop out the motherfucking Porsche. I don't wanna hit that ass, don't sit like a horse. I be ballin' on these niggas, got me feeling like sports. Gas got so much wood, I could build me a fort. Paint so many things I ain't done yet. I'm the king of this shit, crowned by the toilet. I'm just ready to get it started, you already upset. Got a tiger at the pet.
So yeah, you want to make sure to adjust the volume perfectly so it's not overloading this right here, but it's still coming out loud out here. So if I throw in this tape real quick, pause, record, wait about 10 seconds, and then bang. Okay, so that noise is now going to end up in the recording.
been on fire ever since they made the lighter. My boys will pull up on your homie, I ain't talking.
Alright, I'm gonna press stop now.
Talking to your function on point, I'm like a sniper.
Hit stop on that. I'm gonna turn this down because I'm about to turn it off. So yeah, that's how you transmit your music to the radio. You just do it via FM like that. And now, the cool thing about doing that is... Oh, I think I rewound too fast, or too far. So in a moment, we should hear that music on this tape. It's not going to be insanely high quality, of course, but it'll still be there. Yeah, I forgot to reset the counter, so it's like resetting itself now. Yeah, that, I don't think I had the volumes up loud enough on the source right there, but you can still hear it. So I'm actually going to see if I can do that just a little bit better. Let me, really crank up these levels. I'm gonna wheel it, yeah. I'm gonna wheel it back. I'm gonna crank up that volume to the max. Turn that back on. Switch back over to the radio. There we go. And I'm gonna undo that, press play.
I just hit her and I quit her. I would never ever date her. It's the same how I'm barely getting love in the city. Travel to another town. You could bet the fucking with me. I be killing this shit. Pray to God they forgive me. They say when you blow up, don't forgive me. Man, I've been on fire ever since they made the lighter. My boys will pull up on your homie. I ain't talking diapers. Talking to your functional.
Okay, so let me see if that does a little bit better, because hopefully it does. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Listen to that.
Man, I've been on fire ever since they made the lighter. My boys will pull up on your homie, I ain't talking diapers.
Okay, so yeah, it does take some fiddling around to get it just right, but you can transmit your music to here, perfect volume. I guess you just have to crank it up to the max with this particular phone. Like with my own phone, I kind of have to keep it somewhere in the middle, or else it will get all nasty and distorted. But I guess with this one right here, you don't have to do that with. And that's also how you can record from your phone to tape. It won't be the highest fidelity thing in the world, not because of the tape itself, but just because this boombox is not the best recorder in the world. If I had a super high-end boombox, you could pretty much get like a 1-to-1 recording on tape, but this is kind of like one of those budget boomboxes from the 80s, so it's not going to be perfect, but hey, it's fun, so who cares? Okay, so one final thing I do kind of want to show you is the J card, as they call it. And they call it that because it looks like the letter J. So the J card of your tape right here is pretty much what you're going to write your track listing on. So you can write it on the inside, or you can write it on the outside. Just depends on how big of a track list you have. You can also invert if you feel, I guess if you like black better than red, you can invert it. And you know what, just for this tape, since it's a nice little smoky color, I think that would be nice to have that inverted. And obviously, you know, you write your date of the recording up there, or title. That little NR button or NR choice right there is from noise reduction, which this thing does not have noise reduction, so you would always want to hit, yeah, you'd always want to check that as no, and then you just kind of like write your title, your track list, maybe draw something. And the spine right here obviously is to write down the title of your tape. You can also have these little stickers right here, which you put directly on the tape itself, which if I flip it over, this is just the test tape. You know, you'd write your title. It has noise reduction. This one has both noise reduction and not noise reduction, because this was just a test tape for a deck that I have. And you know, you can use the secondary one down there for another little title down here, which I put down recordings may be done improper, because this tape was kind of done on sort of a deck with really badly aligned azimuth. So yeah, so I just thought I'd cover that real quick. But yeah, that should pretty much cover everything you would need to know about this boombox. How to get radio signals, how to record, how to dub, and how to play your own music on it.